Welcome back to another episode of Jarn's Recreational Sports Talk. Today we have episode 4. We're going to be going over the NFL conference matchups happening this weekend on Sunday. The Bills going to Arrowhead Stadium to play the Chiefs in a rematch of the AFC Championship game. The Commanders battling it out against the Eagles in Philadelphia for the NFC Conference Championship game. Now for the Bills and the Chiefs, this will be the second time they meet in the AFC Conference Championship in the last 5 years. The last time they played in the AFC Championship game, the Chiefs won 38-24. The big factor in that AFC Championship game was the Kansas City defense at stopping the Bills' run game. Josh Allen did rush for 88 yards, forced Josh Allen to throw the ball. Their last regular season meeting was this season. It was the only Chiefs loss of this season. Now, it seems like for that game, the Bills took away the threat that was Travis Kelce and also the run game. Kareem Hunt was just signed on the season. So the Bills did a good job executing and finally getting that win. Now, let's get into some averages between the Bills and the Chiefs. Josh Allen has never won a playoff game on the road. He is 0-3 in playoff games on the road. Josh Allen is averaging 2 passing touchdowns and 252 passing yards per game against the Chiefs in his career. Josh Allen is averaging 2.3 passing touchdowns, 267 passing yards per game against the Chiefs in his postseason career. Now for both career against the Chiefs in the postseason, he's averaging for both of those 2 passing touchdowns, also over 250 passing yards. Patrick Mahomes is 13-2 at home in the postseason. Patrick Mahomes is averaging 2 passing touchdowns and 260 passing yards against the Bills in his career. Patrick Mahomes is also averaging 2.7 passing touchdowns per game and 306 passing yards per game against the Bills in his postseason career. Some of my picks going into the Bills and Chiefs game, I think is going to be a high-scoring game. Everybody is rooting for Patrick Mahomes to get the three-peat. I think that the Bills are going to put a stop to that. I think the Bills are going to win in Arrowhead. Josh Allen's going to get his first playoff win on the road and head to the Super Bowl. I also think that Patrick Mahomes will throw over 225 passing yards. Now, for both Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, they have good stats against each other in the regular season. I'm going to go with Josh Allen, 2 passing touchdowns. Our next matchup that we have is going to be the Commanders in Philly playing against the Eagles. The Commanders and the Eagles are 1-1 in the regular season this year. The Eagles won their matchup in Philly. The Commanders won their matchup in Washington. For the conference championship game, they will be playing in Philadelphia. And their last meeting was in Washington. Washington came back at the end of the game to win 36-33 in the final seconds. After Jalen Hurts got hurt, he left the game. Kenny Pickett came in. Immediately first down to A.J. Brown. Third play of the game, Kenny Pickett, first down A.J. Brown. I thought Kenny Pickett played pretty good in that game. However, we all know Jalen Hurts is our ace. Now, let's get into some of these averages for these teams and the players. For these averages, we're going to be measuring the averages for the players based off of the 2 games they played this season. Saquon Barkley is averaging 148 yards per game and 2 touchdowns per game against Washington this season. Jalen Hurts is averaging 40 rushing yards per game against Washington this season, despite leaving his last matchup early with an injury. A.J. Brown is averaging 81 yards per game in the last 2 games against Washington this season. An interesting stat that I found was that Jake Elliott in these 2 games is averaging 11.5 points per game in field goals and extra point kicks. For the Commanders, Brian Robinson Jr. is averaging 43.5 rushing yards per game and about half a touchdown per game against the Eagles this season. Jaden Daniels is averaging 49.5 rushing yards per game against the Eagles this season, and Jaden Daniels is also averaging 224 passing yards per game against the Eagles. For my picks for this game, I love the Eagles. I know they're going to win this. They're playing in Philly. Jaden Daniels is no joke. I'm going Eagles money line. They're going to win this at home. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. However, Washington opened up at 4.5 point underdogs against the Eagles. I do think that they can keep this game close. However, I'm not going to be going with the 4.5. I am going to be going with the Commanders +7 alternative spread. I also like Brian Robinson Jr. on the Commanders to score a touchdown against the Eagles. I believe that the Eagles are really going to focus on Jaden Daniels' rushing game and his throwing game. So they're going to take away Zach Ertz. They're going to take away Olamide Zaccheaus, leaving Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler to do their thing. Recently, Dallas Goedert's been doing pretty good. If they take away our weapons like Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, I can always count on Dallas Goedert to be there for Jalen Hurts. All right, folks, that is it for episode 4 of Jarn's Recreational Sports Talk. That was just a little dive into the conference matchups coming up this Sunday. I hope you guys like this information that I found. I know a lot of you aren't going to like my picks, but that's okay. We'll see what happens on Sunday. I'm going to do an NBA matchup episode coming up soon where I'm going to take a look at one of the late slate NBA games, kind of do my research on it and give you my picks for that game. So stay tuned for that. Check out the YouTube, check out Instagram Reels. Cheers.